Welcome back, folks, to Prime Meta League, Game 2 of Week 7. I am one of your hosts, RoastedOats, joined here by Tim, as we prepare for a game between Cerberus and Sock Puppet Rodeo. Two teams tied in the standings at 3-2.
Yeah, both teams coming off wins last week. Cerberus with a good win last week, kind of shutting down Murder Crows, as Murder Crows owe for everything so far in this league. And then Taco getting a nice little bounce back last week against Run It Down with the win there. So, yeah, both teams 3-2. Everyone kind of knotted up here in the standings as we are getting ready for draft.
Indeed. And yeah, do we have, let's see. Yeah, it looks like we're still getting ready for it a bit, but both of them are trying to basically here solidify their place in the standings. If either one of them can win, this pushes them into a much more comfortable place, I believe, in the playoffs. Or at least a little bit more comfortable, being higher in the standings. So both of these are looking good, and it looks like we are jumping straight into the bans.
Yeah, early ban on blue side for Mbessa, and just something they don't want to take away from G2 369. Very strong so far in this season. You know, a Diamond 3 player can just really bring a lot of power to that pick for sure.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of G2's favorites. One of his most played. On the other side, Nico Velkoz's bans. They're really targeting out that support position, presumably, unless that's a sneaky mid lane Velkoz that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, Cerberus did a good job actually showing off the Nico with the Nico Caitlyn. Nico made some really good roams, obviously, with the deception that Nico brings with the champion design, just setting up some really creative plays for them. So, but they don't want to get that to Sock Puppet Rodeo, and obviously they don't want to be taking it themselves either.
Absolutely. And the three bands from Sock Puppet Rodeo there, the Mbessa, Volibear, Jinx are the three most played champions from the three diamond players on Cerberus. So makes a lot of sense. On their own, they're locking in Smolder, who is one of the most ridiculous champions on the patch right now.
Yeah, this champion is
absurd.
Absolutely taken off. Yeah, that the new Rude, the Deathfire Torch, has
it has a 54% win rate.
Yeah, it's really bolstered the I mean, not a little dragon anymore. That is a big dragon, and it's a big dragon pretty early too. A lot sooner than the 225 stacks that you normally see. Smolder spike and really start to carry games at. Can do a lot more damage. The short trades with that rune is just way more effective than what we've seen in the past. But certainly with a lot of lockdown, the Vi instant lockdown, that's gonna take away the flat Smolder, and then RA obviously with the Spirit Rush can follow up on any sort of that Vi wants to do.
Yeah, it's a very comfortable combo. Vi Ari, very classic. You see it in pro, you see it in normal draft games. It's a very good, just lock someone down, one-shot him combo. And on the other side, locking in a Mumu. Both an engage and a disengage option. That ult is pretty strong, especially into a fairly mobile champion like Ari.
Looking like a lot of AoE on the Sock Puppet Rodeo side, obviously, with the Mumu ult, Ziggs ult, on top of that, you get the splash from Smolder once, he gets his stacks up.
He screams for mom, too.
Exactly.
Triple ulti.
And just more lockdown as we see the hover of the Nautilus on Cerberus side.
Yeah, it's interesting. I suppose Vi Ari is your plan to engage onto the Smolder. And then I guess your Nautilus as well as your engage onto Smolder in the bot lane, as well as your overall engage to be a bit of a tankier option than Vi's going to be as you get into the fight.
Absolutely, and both of those ultimates can just create a lot of chaos, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
If Nautilus gets to ult the back line, you're going to do a, that pass through the underground of the dredge line comes through and knocks up us through. But then Vi, same thing, ulting the back line separates, those team members away from you as you go unstoppable anyways. So yeah, a lot of lockdown from Cerberus early on here. So curious to see what kind of support we see the Smolder get paired with. Is Cerberus taking away the Braum, which I think is a good ban away from
Yeah,
Sock Puppet Rodeo.
yeah. I think if they leave the Braum up there, that's an insta lock, and the Nautilus cries for the rest of the game because even the Vi is really not thrilled to be going into a Braum. Like you dive in, you get stunned, and you get one shot.
Exactly. I would like to see a Janna band here if I was Cerberus too, just another good champ too. PO obviously Braum takes away the melee, so good. Okay, Poppy also
Poppy
very
also
good.
makes sense here. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Janna's definitely more in King Rolly's wear or wheelhouse, but Poppy is a very good champion into triple dash. Uh, that Ari gets completely shut down if Poppy gets the W up. Same with Vi, same with Nautilus. They all get very inconvenienced. On the other side, two more top lane bands. They're really trying to shut out G2 369 here.
I mean, yeah, that's 4 bans going his way. So they're definitely trying to give Gugu
I think
the
the Volibear's
Dinosaur.
jungle ban actually. So I think it's 3 bans. I think the volley's for
Okay.
Orgol here.
Okay. That's that's fair, I guess.
I mean, it could totally go top lane though. You're not wrong there. So Hogmaw. Okay, so that's their answer into the Smolder is a Nautilus Cogmaw lane. I'm afraid I do not know my Nautilus Cogmaw lanes.
Even more AoE for Sock Puppet Rodeo with the Anivia locked in.
Probably going to support would be my guess, or
Oh, what
it's
are we
top.
doing here?
Are we doing Smolder top? Is that what's happening?
Are we doing
And then like
Anivia top?
it could be Anivia top, it could be Smolder top, it could be Zillion top if they're really feeling crazy. Don't do it, but I mean they could. Zillion's crazy. Are they locking this? Looks like they are. Okay, this is a
Wow.
team comp from Sock Puppet Rodeo.
I mean, they are deep in their bag with this one. I am really excited to see where these champions
Yeah,
lay
where
out,
are
what
they
the
going?
interactions are.
Oh yeah. The other
You know,
side.
you know, you know, GT36 like, what am I playing into? Like, I have counter
It's
pick,
like,
but
what do
I
I
don't
pick
even
here?
know what I'm doing.
I mean, Yone is a pretty safe pick here. It's good into most of these champions. Solid escape, gauntlet, solid move in. If you start getting CC'd a little bit too much, you E right before you get CC'd and can just get out of there with the unstoppable.
Creates a nice little wombo combo on top too, with Nautilus
True.
and Vi getting the lockdown, then just ulting on top of that as well.
Yeah, fate
Mm,
sealed and all that.
exactly, another ultimate that goes unstoppable on the side of Cerberus.
Yeah, okay. So what are you thinking for top to bottom here? What are your predictions here?
Uh, I'm gonna guess it's a Nivea top. So I think it's a Nivea
Okay.
top with a Moo jungle, and then Ziggs mid, and then Smolder Zillion bot lane. I played a lot of Zillion in my day, and I've actually duoed quite a lot with a Smolder. So like I understand like that synergy. The move speed is just absolutely fantastic. Smolder just gets out of some sticky situations. He doesn't always have to burn his E to get out of those. So that's how I would see this shaking down. But also, it's primarily oats, and you never know what's going to go down.
Oh, absolutely. I can say I do know Kesar, the support for Sock Puppet Rodeo, is a Zillion player, quite a comfortable one at that. Plays a lot of it, so that would make sense. Amumu Jungle and Zillion support are the two very confident ones here. The real questions are the 80 carry mid top because Smolder can go all three, Ziggs can go mid and bot, and Anivia can go mid and top. So I think it makes sense for Anivia to go top. In this case, but I could also totally see Anivia mid into Ari, although it's a bit rough, I suppose, of a lane. Zigzillion bot lane to just artillery the artillery, and then you have a Smolder top lane who just tries to bully the Yone. But
Yeah.
the most likely does seem to be your prediction. I would agree with you on that, but I could totally see the Smolder top.
Yeah, so it is. It's got to be a Nivea, a Mumu, Zig, Smolder, Zillion in that order, top to bottom. So
Okay.
Gugu is taking the Anivia, Cheetah's taking the Ziggs. Nini, who was playing top, I believe, last week for Sock Puppet Rodeo, is now at 80 carry, playing Smolder.
Okay.
And then Zillion is indeed the support with
Indeed, the support
Murder
for
the
KSR.
Orphans on a
Oh,
Mumu.
murder. Oh, okay. Oh, murder the orphans on the move. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
This makes
I'm
sense. I
just
was like,
really
wait a minute.
interested to see how this Kog'Maw is going to play into it. Usually you pick Kog'Maw when you see a lot of tanks on the other side, the percent health damage, a really good Bork user as well. So I'm really interested to see how this Kog'Maw is going to play into this comp, into Sock Puppet Rodeos.
Yeah, because I suppose you could play like a weird artillery Kog'Maw instead of playing like the on-hit version, but I don't think that's very good. Even into very few tanks of just a Mumu, basically. The
Right.
other issue is, I think, to be honest, every 80 carry would hate to play into that team comp. Like, I'm trying to imagine like a Sivir or a Misfortune who tries to play into Ziggs, Anivia, Mumu, Smolder, Zillion, and is just walking into a team fight and getting Ziggs bombs thrown, and Anivia is stunning or making the thing, or making walls, which you can't dash over, because you're a normal AD carry and not Smolder. And Smolder's doing a bajillion damage, and Zillion's stunning you, and even if you get a kill, Zillion says no, and then Amumu is engaging onto you and ulting you, and you die instantly, and I can see Kog'Maw going as like a distance thing. You just try
Yeah.
and play out of the range, let Vi Ari deal with the carries, and Yone dive on, and then you're just playing I'm gonna hide in the background and ult on cooldown. Or ult off cooldown.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's kinda what they need to do. I think Cerberus really needs to focus on pressing the go buttons early, though. They don't need or don't want to get poked out by the Ziggs bombs, by Nivea ult, by Smolder, Q and W splash and all of that. They're gonna want to preserve their health bar as best they can because again, this is a dive comp. It's Nautilus, Yone, Ari, Vi. Like they want to get in there. So they're going to try to preserve health bars as soon as they can and then look for those I think creative angles, which I think Vi does a really good job of just able to queue in or even queue flash and then alt on the back line the target you're looking for. I think Ziggs might be a primary target other than Smolder just
Yeah,
because of the dash that Smolder has. Just puts that separation even further, between the follow-up Cerberus has versus the rest of Sock Puppet Rodeo. So it should be really interesting to how this one plays out.
absolutely. And I think Cerberus's main advantage is they're so much stronger in skirmishes in the mid game. If they can get into those mid game like if they get moving into those mid game skirmishes and aren't behind from lane or are even ahead because they played it really well, like Vi Ari Yone can run the top side of the map compared to Anivia, Amumu, Ziggs. Like they've got damage, but if Vi Ari decide a target is dead, a target's dead. Like that guy's just one shot.
For sure.
Unless it's maybe Amumu survives it, but if Yone's around, no, he doesn't. And so it'll be a question of can Cerberus get enough of a lead in the early mid game to be able to keep the pressure up, get the dragon stacking, and get powerful enough that their lead is strong enough going into the late game where they can just kind of get poked out completely, or Smolder just completely Omega outscales with a Zillion in his back pocket. That it just becomes unplayable into it because you can't kill them fast enough before Smolder starts doing 350 stack. You execute at 10% max health, you die.
Yeah, and I get a little sneak peek in here, and I can see the Kog'Maw ruined, which is lethal tempo. So definitely not artillery. It's
Yeah,
definitely going
going
to be
on the
on the
hit.
on hit.
Okay.
So yeah, it should be interesting to see how that Zapma is the skin actually they're rolling with today, and
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see how that plays into that.
Any exciting Vi skins?
Arcane, so
Arcane Vi.
always a good
No,
one.
pretty classic. Pretty classic. Pretty
Yep.
classic.
Yeah, it's Festival Queen Nivea, Infernal Momo, Ziggs rocking the default, Smolder as well, Winter Bless Zillion, and
Mm-hmm,
then for
mm-hmm.
Cerberus side, it's Battle Academy Eon, Arcane Vi, as I mentioned. Oh,
Yeah.
and then unable to download spectator data. The game will now exit. Well, that's not good for my end. Hopefully, Cow still has all things right
Fingers
on
crossed.
his end.
Fingers crossed. Let's play a little memory game. See if you remember Ari skin.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't think I got to Ari.
oh,
I
unfortunate.
didn't get to look at it.
Okay, okay. We're just doing a quick hold for the tech stuff. We're just gonna do a quick reload. So we're gonna keep yapping about the draft here. We'll be getting into game pretty shortly, I think. And so yeah, no, this is I'm trying to think how miserable is the Yone and Nivea matchup in the top lane, just isolated. Because I feel like whenever Yone goes in, if he gets hit with a Q, he just doesn't do anything. But if he can dodge it, yeah, okay. It looks like Anivia wins that in isolation in solo queue at least. But to be fair, almost everyone beats Yone in solo queue, so that's not really a strong statement.
Yeah, I mean, Yone is also just a really good scaling champ in general. So,
Yeah,
you expect a weaker lane for Yone matchups generally.
yeah,
I think the Yone probably wins pre 6, and then post 6, I
yeah.
think the
Because then
zone
Anivia starts
control,
getting
yeah,
like
is just really tough. And we talked about the get out of jail free card that Zillion provides for his team, whether it's Smolder or Ziggs or even himself. But Anivia as well. That egg passive is just really annoying to deal with in team fights.
is. It is. Especially for Viari, because it basically takes her off the board as a solid dive target while still keeping her relevant as annoying. Because you can't use your one-shot tools on her, because if you do, you've put them all into an egg you're gonna have to kill again.
Exactly.
And
And
if you
you
don't,
yeah,
Anivia just
then
stands there and keeps the icy blizzard going, and you die.
exactly. Yep. Yeah, just a lot of AoE follow up us along the sides of Sock Puppet Rodeo for sure.
Yeah, Amumu also just seems so miserable for Viari. Like, as much as you can dodge around it to an extent, Amumu just shows up, presses ult, and your entire dive gets stunned for a good long time. Nice and ready for a Mega Inferno bomb to land on your face
Mhm.
from this guy.
Looked like Sock Puppet Rodeo support is having a little trouble rolling in, but I think we're getting in here shortly though.
Looks like it. We're moving around the game at least. Everyone's a bit frozen. Oh, there we are. Movement. Movement is happening. Let's see. And with that, they
We're
are
off.
released. It is really funny that everyone is so small because there's Zillion and then a bunch of Yordles and like 2 flying creatures. And so the Yordles are both walking in their little massive bobblehead emotions, and then it's just Zillion floating. And oh, that's an early hook from King Rolly. That is a chunk of
Ooh.
damage onto Smolder. Nini is getting absolutely rolled here, but survives it. KSR also survives, but that's going to be a quick reset.
And that is just absolutely tragic for a Smolder. You guys just can't be locking up like that level 1 without warding that middle bush anyways. Nautilus is going to just take that hook every single time he sees it now.
Yeah, and that makes Smolder stacking slower. Smolder's losing XP, I think. I actually can't see the lane right now. Hasn't... yeah, no, lost at least 1 minion.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pushing away from them, too. No, it's not. Okay, it's pushing back in. They're good on that front, but 3 melee minions gone. That could have been stacks. 3 XP worth of it gone. And that's not fun.
Yeah, now they're going to respect level 2 here.
Oh, no. Quick heal, quick hook. Survives it, though. Just half health. Level 2 hit, and now they have to fully back off. Hook hits again!
Oh my goodness.
Barrier used. No. Well, there's still flash. Flashes are up, but
But yeah, that's 2 combat slums now. The heal earlier by the Zillion and now the barrier down by the Smolder is just constant action here in this bot lane.
Yeah, no kidding. No, this is perma fighting here. On the other side, good ward down from Frontinus to get some information on the Raptors.
Trade up there in that top side as well for 369.
Slight CS lead actually for the Yone at the moment. Comfortable. Hook hits the minion. Doesn't quite hit. Going for it. If that hook hits, very dead. Charm misses though from Frontinus though.
Yeah, maybe Smolder flashes away, but yeah, I think I'm with you there. Smolder is in a very bad spot. Zillion does have a full HP bar. He needs to kind of use that resource aggressively if he can.
Flash, hook, flash again, hook hits, and that's one shot down. There's another passive. Staggering blow, slams down. That's half health for the Zillion as well, but it's a very early Smolder death. Smolder flash too. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Turnout
Yeah, King Rolly just on his hook game right now, looking like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar out here. Just hook after hook, and Smolder goes down early. The last thing you want to do if you're Sock Puppet Rodeo is get the Smolder behind, and Nautilus just a really good job of neutralizing that, and hard for Zillion to peel pre-6. You know, no ult, you just get the E slow. You can't really do much other than that.
Quick hit from the bandage toss, forces the flash at a Frontinus, hits the second bandage toss. That might be Frontinus down, and it is. The satchel goes up, and a quick auto from the curse from the sad mummy.
Yeah, so great job by the Ziggs providing the vision of Ari over the wall, and then Amumu says, oh, this is easy follow-up. Just Fronter's just trying to get a little information, unfortunately, trying to drop that ward on the Raptor pit. Instead, it's 2 Qs of the bandage toss, and yeah, kill goes backside to Sock Puppet Rodeo there.
Yeah, I actually think Frontinus already had the ward, and because they had the ward... Oh, another hook. Another hook. Double stun. Good stun from the Zillion, though. Double time bomb there. But I think Frontinus was actually just trying to steal Raptors with the Orb of Deception.
Oh, okay, then that's
already had vision, which is just going for it. Oh yeah, it was absolutely greedy, but I see it. I see the logic. As a mid lane player, I would totally do that. A double stun into the stun of that. Staggering blows, and that's Murder the Orphans has slain prize. Murder the Orphans gets its prize. But the Cogmob passive is able to one-shot Nini. The other side.
On the top side.
Yeah, flash from Gugu. I'm just gonna call you Gugu. Gugu the Dinosaur? Gugu the Dinosaur. Incredible name, first of all. But good flash to dodge the... what is the Vi Q called? I should know it. Denting Blows is the W, but that's not useful.
I'm not sure. I'm kind of surprised Vi just doesn't come right back top
Vault
after
Breaker.
getting
Vault
the flash.
Breaker. No kidding. Yeah, no, that would be a really good turnaround. But there is ward there now, so it'd be a little bit hard to gank, presumably. But resets, making our way down bot side.
Yeah, good job by Murder the Orphans, you know, getting inside of that Mumu, getting in the lane gank, and then Zillion just not afraid, just walk up in melee, the E and the double bomb to set up the stun. And they get one back, but yeah, Cogmob passive is able to just track down Nini and get one back. So 1 for 1 on it.
That's another hook, another Denting Blows. But Kazar is able to speed himself up and get himself out, but that's a chunk of health taken. But Frontinus is able to get, well, sorry, not able to get, is taken out, while Argol takes the dragon. A lot of fighting across the rift right now.
Yeah, really tough timing there. Just trying to get that wave in, hit one more plate, and yeah, Amumu with the lockdown is just so good. You get the bounce back from the satchel charge on Ziggs into the tower range, and that is one very dead Ari.
Absolutely. And notably, Frontinus had already used the ult trying to get a kill onto Cheetah, and so had no ult to make that escape. Just, fortunately, one shot. Hook misses from King Roll, even double stun onto the Kog'Maw onto Prize. Prize is just understands they're dead, so they're just trying to see if they can get Nini. I think it's going to be a 1-for-1, but Zilean ult goes off, and Nini is unfortunately for Prize pretty much unkillable at that point. Chases after KSR, but not able to get the kill.
Honestly, I thought Sock Puppet Rodeo went a little too early there at first. I did not think, ooh, they might be in a bad spot here. Nini overstaying.
Greedy. Gets ulted by the depth charge and one shot by Argol. Flash ulti. Cease and desist is able to one shot. There's no ulti there for Kesar. So that is a bit of a greedy overstay for the bot lane.
Yeah, they're just really trying to get that wave in. King Rolly doing a good job playing bait as his reinforcements. Argol comes up and gets a nice kill. A couple flashes, or 3 flashes burnt there. Nautilus, Vi, and Zilean all burned flash, and still the Zilean guys are going down there.
Yeah, the one thing I'm noting, as much impact as Murder the Orphans is having on the map here, falling a bit behind on CS, and especially with that kill bot lane. Argol staying just as relevant. Looks like we're getting both supports fighting the mid lane. Curse of the Sad Moment goes out, hits 2, Charm misses, Argol's down, that's a shutdown. Fate Sealed misses completely, but it is close. Cheetah Tinkle's able to satchel charge out. G2 is kind of on their own right now, but Murder the Orphans goes back in onto Nautilus. King Rolly's trying to get out. Mega Inferno Bomb, stunned from the Zilean. Nini and Prize fist fighting in the bot lane. Nini barely survives.
So Nini has to burn flash, walking up so aggressively. Oh my god.
Gets a W worth. That's another smolder stack. That's worth every day of the week.
Dying for stacks.
Yeah, dies for stacks. That's totally. Oh god, going for it again. Just kind of another W. Is that the plan? Misses the W. Oh, if that hits, it's a kill. But
yeah, but that, I mean, you are one of the best scaling champions in the game. I think taking those fights is just extremely risky. There's no need for it. You play even, you are ahead. Like there's just, it's really that simple. For you to try to make that play there is you're just ballooning this Kog'Maw's lead right now.
No, exactly. Good stun from Gugu the Dinosaur there to make sure T2369 doesn't get any further in, but you can see the CS gap at this point. There's been a rough laning phase for the Anivia top here.
And the gold lane, we talked about ballooning that lead for the Kog'Maw, almost up 1,000 gold now on the Smolder. Obviously, they're getting the 3 kills as well as the 11 CS up in the minute.
Yeah, currently the point of pressure for Run It Down, or not Run It Down, this is not Run It Down, this is Sock Puppet Rodeo. For Sock Puppet Rodeo, seems to be their mid lane and their jungler, who is 5-0-1 on the Amumu. That Amumu is going to get incredibly tanky, incredibly quickly.
Yeah, getting the Leandries first, getting the burn, the HP, of course. Uh-oh, Smolder double again?
Yeah, it looks like it gets hooked again. There's no flash on this champion. Calls for mom, dies from Zilean ult. The resurrection rewind's coming, half health, but I don't think there's any way out of that. Yeah. Vault Breaker goes in from Argol. Amumu is just going in onto Frontinus, forces the ulti. Cheetah Tinkles, seeing what he can hit. That Frontinus is almost completely one-shot, just gets one-shot, but Murder the Orphans traded back. No shutdown, and Frontinus doesn't get the kill, though, so it's a 1-for-1 after that fight. Argol does still have cease and desist, so good satchel charge from Ziggs to get on the way out of there.
Yeah, he needs to get out of dodge there for sure. Murder the Orphans is just taking every advantage toss that he sees right now, whether it's good or bad. I thought that was a little aggressive. You know, you lose your 80 carry in the fight. Nini playing super aggressively. Had some fancy feet last week in the the top lane game, but kind of walked towards the Nautilus there. It looked like to me in that river play. I'm not really sure what the comms were there. Maybe they thought they had more reinforcements. They had the number advantage when, indeed, obviously, they did not.
Indeed. They might have thought that with quite how fed Murder the Orphans was and how strong Cheetah was with the completed Ludens, maybe they thought they could just out-damage at that point if they'd used most of the abilities, but to be honest, King Rolly and Argol hadn't really had to use much to take out Nini, given Nini was without flash at the time. Looks like there might be a fight over Dragon. Kesar is taken out, and Smite stolen by Argol. Cease and desist goes on. Gugu the Dinosaur and G2 are both TPing into the bot lane. This is a really big fight right now. Fate Sealed goes in. Good Zillion ult to keep the Smolder alive. Smolder is getting... He's able to flap his way out. Cheetah's going for that. Gets hit with a charm. Might get one-shot by G2, but does not care. Is just going to try and kill Ahri there. Force the flash. But G2 flashes the stun. Cheetah's definitely dead. G2's trying to survive best he can. Get the ulti off. Prize does take
Cheetah's
a
out.
for that, but Cheetah is out for now. I'm not sure that's going to stay that way. That's a lot of champions, including Ahri. Oh, Cheetah stepped back. Caroli's seen. Oh, and Argol Vault Breakers onto his face. Goodbye, Ziggs. Deflated like a balloon. I love the animation when Ziggs dies.
Oh, it's one of the best in there.
Greeting once more, but he's got flap. He gets over the wall. He doesn't care. But he gets a turret plate. He gets 2 turret plates. Worth. Incredibly worth. He's going to reset anyways, so... No, it was actually good. It was greedy, but it was good. It worked out.
Gold lead just about even here. 13 minutes of the game. And really unfortunate for Cerberus. They were the one that initiated that dragon, and Vi just walks up. Q flashes, sticks it right in front of Murder the Orphan's face. And
doesn't even flash. Argol still has flash. Just Vault Breakers right onto the dragon and just takes it.
Yes. Sorry, I meant Q smite, not Q flash, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it just takes it right in his face. And Zone Control did a pretty good job. A lot of resources used that time. You know, double TP from the top side there. You know, you get the Fate Sealed over the wall, got the kill. Nautilus gets out barely. Cheetah nearly almost got out as well, but then eventually falls to the Vi afterwards.
Hits the stun from Anivia into the bandage toss from Mumu. They're going in, stunned again, and that is one shot by Cheetah. G2 is just one shot. Notably, the funniest part of that TP from Yone, he Fate Sealed into the Dragon Pit, but actually the person died before Fate Sealed hit. He is still 0-0-0. Well, now 0-1-0, but he was 0-0-0 after that TP. Because Cheetah died to... Somehow, no, I'm actually not sure how Yone didn't do any damage to Cheetah there, but I guess just survived long enough. Looks like Argol does flash on this, trying to see, but that's an Nivea. Gets the Vaultbreaker back. Gugu gets the stun. Smite it. Vaultbreaker. Hits it.
Good job by Argol, just knowing the limits there. You know, used a lot of resources, flash stun, but ends up getting that kill. Really just knowing the limits and kind of seeing where everyone else was on the map, knowing resources weren't coming. So you get egg and you get the kill there is really big.
That's a Kesar is able to just barely get the Zillion ult off, but G2369 is here. Kesar is fast, but oh, fancy feat from Nini. Is able to dodge the Fate Seal. That was very well played.
That was some of the fancy feat we saw in the top lane, you know, last week. And happy his mid game is shaking out a little bit better than his early game.
Okay, we're going in for Murder the Orphans. Curse the Sad Mummy does a lot of damage. They're getting stuns. Nini's trying to play safe because Argol doesn't have cease and desist right now, so there's no way to get on. Bandage toss hits. They can get a stun at all, but no, they'll survive. Nini and Case are playing a little bit safe on that fight, actually, but not that it really matters. It's good in the end. Cheetah's able to get the top lane tier 1. Frontinus was able to get the bot lane tier 1 as well. Oh, geez. Okay, Spirit Rush in from Frontinus. Nini is quite a greedy player, I will say. Goes back in when there's going to be another ult charge, but survives barely off the grace of Kesar.
Yeah, that was something else. I mean, I don't know if that's knowing your limits or just playing chicken with the enemy right there. Knowing the Zillion does not have all, how to use it on himself just moments ago in that mid lane skirmish. Goes back in, as you mentioned. Ahri still with 2 charges on the Spirit Rush and just able to walk out with... I wish I looked at the HP. That had to be single digits, though.
Yeah. Zillion has Airy. I think that's the only reason that Nini survives. Is it Airy? Was I seeing that correctly? Yeah, it's Airy. It's Airy. So yeah, the only reason that Nini survives... Well, speaking of surviving... the ulti actually makes it so the hook misses. Fate Sealed goes in, misses 3. Or the Orphans trying to get in, but G2369 has not been great with the ulti hits. Charm misses for Gugu the Dinosaur, or onto Gugu the Dinosaur. King Rolly is trying to walk through, but do they have the damage to even kill any of these people?
I don't think
ults,
so.
flash, bandage toss, ults. Only hits one with the ult. Frontinus is in the backline. And that's down. Charm misses, though. And Frontinus has one more dash. Nini is going to try and die with the Zillion ult. Does successfully do so. Forces them to back off a bit. Nini is just keeping going forward. Prize is able to pretty comfortably zone them. He's got some damage on G2369. Flashes in, W. Nini survives at barely any health, but does survive. And once again, blinking health bars at the end of this fight.
Nini 0-5 and has lived on combined 45 HP probably 3 times now. These 3 team fights are just chaotic. Both teams using a lot of resources, trying to get in, make plays, but on the other side, especially Sock Puppet Rodeo, Nini has been doing a good job using his hands. Really, it's been hand stiff of him sidestepping a lot of these skill shots in the mid game here to keep him alive in these team fights and allow him to just throw W's and allow Ziggs and Anivia to throw down that AoE damage. And Amumu is just still very strong. Sunfire completed, a couple more armor items going Amumu's way. Eventually probably get God, what's the API item that gives the magic shield?
Kano Krokra?
Yes, that one, to try to negate some of this aura damage as well.
Murder the Orphans is getting depth charged ulted by King Rolly. G2369, unfortunately, soul unbound, but not quite enough distance for that. Gets a hook, King Rolly. They're going in, Fate Sealed hits. Murder the Orphans gets the first the Sad Mummy off. G2 is one shot here from the Ziggs damage. Murder survives up barely, thank you, Triumph. And looks like it's a 1-0. Nini is playing a fun little game with Frontinus in the bot lane and is actually winning this, which is a bit absurd. Smolder moment right there. Throws out the W. He's gonna try for the Q, but Frontinus is spacing it well.
Yeah, 3 levels down, the Ahri did not look in control of that.
Yeah, at the all. Issue if Ahri hits Charm there, bye Nini, you're gone. But until that Charm hits, Nini can play it well with the fancy feet to be able to just out damage.
And I think obviously if you're Software Rodeo, I think you're fine with this game state right now. You know, you have a lot of gold on your mid and jungle right now, with 7 kills, 6 with 4. But you know you have that late game insurance with the Smolder and with the AoE and the zone control of the Anivia. Anivia is only going to get stronger from here. Obviously down quite a bit at CS as far as 369's Zeon, but they're going to come into it. But it's really the pick plays. Can Cerberus out damage a quick hook target? You know, can they get onto the back line and make that quick pick to not allow them to extend that fight? Because if it comes down to a long extended fight, it's going to be the poke of Sock Puppet Rodeo that's really going to come into effect.
And that's part of the issue Cerberus is having been slightly behind here on gold. They're only about 600 gold behind as a team, but even that slight gold difference can mean that you don't get that kill with that first hook, which makes the rest of your comp just kind of fall apart if you don't get that first one-shot, one-kill. It's like both junglers are hovering each of their sides. Nini is in a very greedy position. Yeah, okay. That's one-shot Vault Breaker. Zillion ult is Zillion ult, but I don't think that makes a difference here. Nini is one-shot. Argol is on a rampage.
Trying to trade top side, but they're just not going to be able to get 369s. He eventually just walks out.
Yeah, I think Cheetah's a little bit too far away. Gets the Ziggs ulti, which is a lot of damage, but unless they're throwing Q-bombs as well, it's just not enough damage. But there is a Ziggs solo on a turret, well, with allies on a turret, so that turret's probably gone. The TP on it to try and make sure that doesn't happen, but it's a Ziggs. I think that thing's just gone. Yep, there it goes. Ziggs moment right there. Gets the wall off, but they are A good double stun from Gugu to Dinosaur that might save Gugu to Dinosaur's life, but I do not think that saves Cheetah's. Cheetah has been killed, Frontinus, cease and desist onto the Anivia. Good stun from Zillion. Flashes over the wall from King Rolly, hooks the wall, double stun from Gugu to Dinosaur again. Vault Breaker's charged up, but it's just going to go down. Looks like they're looking towards Baron, but Nini is still alive. Oof. Hook hits the wall. Fancy feat from Nini, just barely. He is living on the edge. Charm just barely misses. Same with Lord of Deception, but they're starting Baron here. There's no Ziggs for another 10 seconds here. Nini flaps over the wall. They're setting up for this. Murder's just diving in. Gets the double charm. Gets hit with the charm, so the bandage toss is interrupted. Gets the Circus the Sat Mummy, but there's no damage. Anivia is getting one shot on the side. Murder is staying alive. Zillion ult falls off, so that's not been used. Or it's been used, but that's not gotten any use out of it. At this point, it's just a question of can Prize carry this fight, and it looks like he can. Dies, but 1-for-1 with the Smolder. Kesar's looking to see if there's any damage, and Cheetah is back alive, is the issue here. And Cheetah is a lot of damage. As shown right there, King Rolly, I think, is just dead. It's a question of Frontinus. If Frontinus can escape here, Cheetah might find them. Gets it on the vision, and Murder's taking the dragon. Bounces off. Misses. She's going for it. Hit with the charm. A lot of chasing. Orgel doesn't steal it in the bot lane. Cease and desist. One-shot the Mumu. And Cheetah will be able to catch Ahri. Oh my god, they're still fighting. TP from Yone to try and get in. Kesar is very fast, though. With Zillion speed up.
Yeah, he obviously just providing good offensive utility with the speed up there. And then, obviously, not as effective on dash champs, obviously, but that E at 5 points feels feels like an Nasus Wither. It really does. It's so hard for people to follow up, which, again, not a problem if you have a dash like a Yone, like a Vi, like an Ahri, but Kog'Maw or Nautilus, if say misses hook or hits the Amumu and then gets that or speed up, or I should say slow down on him, it's really hard for him to walk back to join his team at that point.
Absolutely. What a chaotic fight.
Oh, sorry. Smolder stacks 214 right now, so almost to the promised land is Nini.
No kidding. It's 225, so 11 more. Next fight, that Smolder Execute is moving. But yeah, that was a chaotic sequence. We got the fight. We got a lot of fighting. Kills are evened. Gold is exactly even. But no soul, as our goal was unable to steal it. But my god. Yeah,
that was really big for Sock Puppet Rodeo to extend that dragon. You do not want a 26, 27-minute Elder if you're Sock Puppet Rodeo. You want to let Smolder continue to scare theirs. Frontinus looks like a little bit in an awkward spot.
Frontinus has forced the Spirit Dash over the wall. It's a very short cooldown at level 14, but not 16 yet, even with Malignant. So that's not a cooldown you want to be spending lightly, and that is gone. Looks like it's a vision game at this point, though.
Yeah, Baron is the next objective here, and both teams trying to posture. Can control the river, control wards down, Banana Bush secured by a couple of yellows on either side.
That is, you can see the little effect. Dragon training has happened. 225 has been reached. Smolder is online. And you can see already they're going for the very classic Smolder build, which is Black Cleaver, because if you get Deathfire Touch, you stack it incredibly quickly. And Nini is playing on the knife's edge here. Cease and desist right onto it. Fate Sealed on top of that. But hurts the Sad Mummy is there. Flashes out. Gets the shield. Gets the thing. And an execute. G2369 is burning from Deathfire Touch, but survives at no health. Cheetah's barely alive, but is alive. Zonya's the Orb of Deception barely survives it. Well played by Cheetah. And Frontinus is unfortunately down. That's 2-0 on the side.
What looked like a Cerberus good pick there on the Smolder. Both sums burned that time by Nini obviously gets the bailout, and then just the damage eventually comes through in those long extended fights. As I mentioned, King Rolly is going to hook in. It needs to be a dead target because it is going to be a long walk back home, as it was. Had to lose a lot of that health bar. And then what we thought was going to be Cheetah going down, front of this just can't get that back end of her Q to follow through before the Sonya sticks on.
Cheetah tries to poke in but loses half his health for his troubles. I mean, with this team comp, that Baron is getting one-shot pretty quickly. There's a TP in, but they've got it. Almost gets the stun. Frontinus Charm misses. They're just trying to get out here, but they have a turret. They have a way out here. They're resetting. Nini is very greedy recall, but it works. And yeah, they're just out. That is Baron, and that's going to be really rough for Cerberus to play the rest of this game out.
Yeah, I mean, they just have a lot of control right now. Mentioned the two mid-jungle here, the Moom and the Ziggs. A big goal is Murder the Orphans, just not afraid to even face-check his own jungle right now.
Good stun from Gugu to Dinosaur, but Gugu to Dinosaur is just face-checking this. Flashes out. Everyone dodges the Fate Sealed. That is some absurd damage onto Argol and G2 369. But they're getting damage down. Nini is not in this part of the fight. Finally joins. King Rolly's probably just dead instantly. Not quite. Rise. Nini's... There we are. Okay, there's the damage. Frontinus is getting hit. But yeah, Kesar kind of had to pseudo-tank with Zillion ult. Dodge of the Charm. And looks like Frontinus will get out here. Nope, Flap exists. One shot. And that is an ace. That is Dragon, and I think likely spells the end of this game unless there is a miracle fight for Cerberus at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get a second Dragon. The move speed is just going to be so good for them. We thought they had Fancy Feet before. They're going to get the move speed and then the slow resist with another Cloud Dragon going in their pocket. Didn't get a lot of push off that Baron usage, but obviously they win the fight. They get the Dragon, they get the OBJ, and they get Tempo getting back on the map first.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think Sock Puppet Rodeo actually cares if they get anything from Baron. I think them taking it away from Cerberus is basically just as good as like getting something out of it. If they just take it away and do nothing, that's still fine because they have a Smolder and they have a Zillion. And if they can keep winning these fights in this situation where, their champions are getting one shot right off the start of the fight, and they're still winning the fights, it's going to be really hard for Cerberus to win any fight from here on out.
Yeah, they definitely don't use the Baron push as well in like a 1-3-1 or even a 1-4 setting, but the siege they have with Zillion and Anivia and Smolder is just so oppressive that it's really hard for Cerberus to walk up to defend a tower without pushing all their buttons to potentially go all in.
Yeah, at this point, Cerberus is very much an all-in or nothing comp. They cannot play at range into Sock Puppet Rodeo. Sock Puppet Rodeo just pokes them out, just kills them. Smolder gets a Q on one person. I mean, we watched what happened to Argol and G2 369 in that fight. They got hit with one Smolder AoE Q and a Ziggs bomb and a Ziggs ult, and they got completely one-shot. That was just them. And they're the two tankiest members on the team, save Nautilus, so... Oh, and Frontinus is getting completely one-shot here. Absolutely demolished. Holy moly, that is some absurd damage. Cheetah was there, didn't get assist credit. That was just Nini and Kesar. The prize is getting chunked from half a mile out. Looks like they're going in, but Cheetah is going to do that. Cease and desist onto the Gugu to Dinosaur. Cheetah does get Zillion ulted. Mom gets roared down onto the Curse of the Sad Mummy. They are one shot. Nini is just going to be able to quadra kill here. Is that a penta? No, quadra kill. Obviously not a penta. Already was killed earlier.
What looked like a tragic misstep by Cheetah. He takes the turret damage. He gets stuck under a tower. He's getting burst down. He gets the Zonias to keep himself alive, and then Smolder just comes through with all the AoE, all the Dragon seconds. Now at 9 and 7, just taking control of this game.
Yeah, Frontinus is going to try his best, but Nini does die here, but I think that's actually enough. Frontinus is able to just barely hold the line, killing the killing the tankiest member and the highest damage member on the side of Sock Pepper Rodeo, forcing them to reset.
I think if I'm Cerberus here, I want to see the Vi get a GA as soon as possible, and an RA to get a stopwatch as soon as possible. Not so much for the stats, just for the extension, because you're going to be diving in there, and they're going to press their kind of stall out buttons, whether it's a Nivea egg or Zillion ult, or the Zonias are from Ziggs. That you're going to have to match that, because the last thing you want to do is stuck on the back line targets that you can't hit, whether they're being resurrected or they're golden, and you're just stuck, kind of twiddling your thumbs, waiting for a target to come up while you're just seeing your health bar deplete.
Yeah, the issue is, do they have the luxury of the money to buy that sort of stuff? Because if Ari buys Zhonya's instead of what looks to be a Void Staff right now, does Ari kill anyone? I'm not sure Ari has the damage to kill anyone if she buys a stopwatch instead. And same issue, not quite the same issue for Vi. I do agree fully with the GA for Vi. Vi at this point has all the damage items she needs. She just needs to survive and be able to dive in and just die for the team. Yeah, that'd be the issue right now. And same with Yone has Wits and is probably building a shield bow at this point to try and finally get to that full. Oh, not even getting to that full crit. Currently at Wits End plus Blade of the Rune King. Nini is getting completely chunked, by the way, by this Baron. Nini is gone at this point. Has to kind of leave. That is some ridiculous Zillion move speed to watch, though.
Yeah, definitely fun to experience. Just getting that 5-stack E on top of you and have you zoom around the map, especially when you have a cloud map and a couple cloud drakes. Speaking of Drake, it's up right now. This is Soul for Cerberus if they can step forward. G2 threatening the face right now, though.
Looks like they're going in. Frontinus is just barely misses the charm, but Nini is completely dead. There's no Bloodthirster. There is an Omni-Vamp item, but that requires a kill to get much. But some fruits heals up. Frontinus, no ulti though. Hook in, Fate Seal onto Cheetah. Cheetah's getting one shot here. Cheetah's able to Zhonya's. On the other side, Mom takes the dragon, so dragon kills dragon. And it looks like this fight is well and truly cooked. Gugu the Dinosaur is able to Zhonya's. Prize is the only one left alive in a 1v4. I do not think wins it, but does actually beat Nini's. Prize might do some heroics here to be able to hold the game together.
And maybe you can just TP into the base and end. I don't know why they're waiting.
Pinging on it. Amumu is pinging it, but Gugu doesn't feel like it. Zillion's going to keep bothering Prize, trying to stay alive and keep him from recalling. Speed up, that's the TP. Yeah, the Anivia TP is happening.
Kaisar. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
That's going to do it.
Yeah, and that is going to do it. Still 5 seconds to Nautilus. Has the ulti going. They don't have a ton of damage on this Nexus, but I think they have enough.
Kill. Oh, guys are so close. One auto. Got him.
He ulties himself to get the bomb off, and this is going down, but I think they waited too long to TP. I think Gugu waited a little bit too long to TP and is actually not going to end the game here. They've all respawned. Gugu hits with the charm. Ignivia is up, but that thing is not surviving. And we're back on the map. The game is not yet over.
I'm at a loss for words. I don't know. Yeah, I thought they were going to see the TP right away and get to it, and
nope. They wanted to stick it together, and I mean, to be fair, the moment Nini died, Nini went really aggressive trying to get out Prize. The moment Nini died, they don't have any AD. They don't, without Ziggs and without Nini, they don't do damage to turrets. They're on an Anivia, who is Rod of Ages, Seraphs, Zhonya's, and they are a Nunamumu, who's full tank.
That's true.
And a Zhonya's. They have 3 Zhonyas, by the way. Sock Pepper Rodeo has 3 Zhonyas and a Zillion ult. They can delay fights as long as they feel like it.
And a Nivea egg.
And Anivia, yeah. The double whammy. No, the fights never end on their side. I'm also noticing a Canic Rookern from on the side of Kog'Maw there. Everything else is like Dusk and Dawn, Navori's. This is an eclectic mix of items. I do not know what Kog'Maw builds, but this is eclectic. Stun hits on Nini. But yeah, just not enough damage. If Frontinus is a little bit more ahead, that damage kills, but just not enough. And now Frontinus is very much caught out. Flash is out, trying to get out, but look at how fast Murder is with the Zillion. Nini is able to get that, and that is an Ahri down. That probably means that Baron is going to be next. Or they might just try and end mid, but I would expect Baron. But who am I to say what they're going to do in macro?
Right. I think they just walk 5 mid and just say, come fight us. I mean, Nini's half health, but
still has a Zillion ult, so.
Yeah, Zillion still has ult.
Yeah, no, they're just diving. They're just diving. Okay, Mom's called in. Fate Sealed misses. Cease and Desist on. Murder the Orphans is dead. Nini's doing his best. Nini gets hit with a double Q knockup. And Anivia is down, but the resurrection from Zillion is a bit ridiculous. Oh, good bomb from Ziggs. Gets the execute. Zonya's out the turret shot. Good stun from Zillion there, and the burn will happen. Dragon training is enough. And Nini will, with many a close call. Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Frontinus, heroics, but not quite enough. Not quite enough.
Do we expect anything else from Nini, even from the very beginning to the game, face checking level, to nearly dying right at the edge of the Nexus to the Ahri, just playing on the edge of his seat the entire game? I think it was just a kind of a great draft from Sakura Rodeo. They had an identity, they came out, they were able to execute it, and yeah, they were able to just use that zone control, use all that AoE, all that damage to their advantage, and then yeah, really stall out a lot of those team fights with, you know, double resurrection and then all the stopwatches or zone is as well.
Oh, absolutely. That was a really good anti what Cerberus wanted to do comp, because Cerberus was really all about that dive on with Vi Ahri locked in 1-2. And the moment that dive doesn't work, the moment that dive is delayed out, the damage just runs out, even with Yone around. Just Yone doesn't have enough damage to be able to carry that team fight afterwards, and so yeah, just really good draft from Sakura Rodeo. Well played. Well played in the micro. Well played in the micro. Those were some fancy feat from the entire team, honestly. Even like before they had a single Cloud Drake, they were dodging Fate Seals, they were dodging Vi Qs, they were dodging everything. Some insane face checks, some absolutely ridiculous greedy stays, but what a game. What a game.
Yeah, that was absolutely awesome. Always good for Stock Pop Rodeo to end the week or end the regular season on a win. Cerberus have to pick it up next week as we start getting some of these playoffs matched up, and we're going to see some seeds breaking out here after this third and final game here, week 7.
Yeah. With that, our third and final game of week 7 will be coming up shortly. It is Jumbos versus Run It Down. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with that third and final game of the night.